What's going on? Move the mouse back in City Skylines with another episode of Let's Play Season 12, episode number 4. And I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm not so excited about this massive fire radiating out from the industry area. This might get a lot of trees, but I am really excited about some of the developments that we have access to in today's episode. Let's try and pretend this fire is not here or here. Geez, that's going to be a good one. So what are we doing today? Well, I wanted to take a look at starting to assemble our downtown and framing off a couple things. It's by no means going to be a finished project today. I think it's going to be 2, if not 3 or even 4 episodes. But I want to look at kind of the downtown Honolulu area and specifically the area around Waikiki Beach. There's, the obvious tourist trap of the island, but immediately behind it, it just drops off into residential. And the residential on the island is grid after grid slammed together until you come to the mountains, and then they find ways to build residential areas up there too. So it is, I think, really unique looking in that respect. It does, unfortunately, have highways that tear right through neighborhoods. So we're actually be doing that at some point as well, continuing our highway that we have here through the mountain, have it come up under here to support at least an exit closer to where we're going to be building our main area. But before we dive into that, there are a couple things that I want to talk about that we unlocked at the Big Town milestone. We unlocked campus areas and high density zoning. I definitely want to put a university in for now, just a placeholder, just to provide coverage, check on things like education and power and water apparently. So let's have a quick look through. So electricity's getting down there, water's getting down there. Let's double up on some of our infrastructure right now before we start the episode. Sometimes I kind of skip this stuff, but I try and include this when I can, because people can figure out, right? You know, if you need more water, you just repeat the thing you already did. So it's not like we're learning something new. Is this doing? Did I do a green? I did a green version, which I think if we want to cut over, we can, but it's going to take a lot more of them. It's going to take, I think they do about half the water. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. So let's add a couple of these in. I think 4 will be needed to get us to where our water is at. So let's see. That should get us around the same green area that our water coverage is at, I think. Once they all kick on, there's 2. Play it faster. There's 4. Okay, so yeah, it's a pretty good spot. This is not good. So let's bring that all the way down, and then this is just bothering me. So let's fix this while we're here. I'll bring one more over for now. Maybe we should just do it and start watering down here, because we're going to need it very soon. So we can build off of that framework, even though we're not going to be on the same exact angles that this road comes off of. We're going to start building our own little guide coming off of the coastline. So rather than make it running parallel or perpendicular to these roads, right, we're gonna kind of come in here for our own framework. Let's throw it in daytime. I do love to see it at night, but I love for people to be able to see what I'm building also. So real quick, right, what do we need to do? Well, we need to do a university for sure, 100%. I'm gonna throw it next to the park for now. Whoops, didn't mean to. Wasted an extra zoning space there, but that's okay. So university wise, what about elementary? Elementary coverage is okay. High school coverage is already hurting before we move anybody new in. So let's get an Institute of Creative Arts just for the heck of it. Wait, this won't fit on the sidewalk. No. So that's okay. I kind of like that on the main avenue. We can do a couple businesses, a couple unique buildings and things like that. So let's ignore these pop-ups. What are they complaining about? They're complaining about not enough educated workers. We're educating people. We're doing that. We're working on it right now. So how do we come in here and define our big coastal downtown area? First thing we want to do is come up with a main strip, and we kind of want to follow this tree line on the edge of the beach. So let's do that. And then where this bends, we'll do the same thing a couple times over. So kind of want to hit right in the middle of the, let's see. That looks pretty good. I think, don't mind the sloping. The sloping we're going to fix. And in fact, why don't we do that right now? So we'll grab the level terrain tool first. Now, I have a lot more brush sizes possible than you might on console, but it's the same exact principle. We're going to select on the road and then extend out quite a bit beyond it. In fact, in my case, the entire size of the brush beyond the road, basically. And if the road height changes an awful lot, as it's starting to do here, we'll reset our height marker. Let's do the same thing here. And we'll come down. We're gonna raise the lighthouse up. The lighthouse is no longer attached to the water, but we'll fix that in a moment. So now that we've got that, I gotta turn these pop-up tips off. Now we can slope up to that spot, right? So every once in a while, I'm gonna grab an area. Should we do this with a much larger brush, probably? That works a lot faster. So I'm selecting, like, ooh, that's gonna nudge a lot of water up and cause a little bit of flooding, but it should all settle down relatively shortly. Change the coastline a bit there. Now I'm gonna go one pass just with a smoothing brush there, and then let's take a look at where our water settles and where our beach actually is. Small city. Okay, what do we unlock there? Monorail. Maybe we cram some of that in today, but I don't think so. We just don't have enough money for it. It would be kind of nice. Let me show you why we saved, and God, I hope I did it right. Where is monorail? Way down here in the end. This one? Monorail. Monorail station with road. No, we just want the monorail station, and it fits right perfectly in that little nook that we saved. So we can start moving people around using this. In fact, do we do it? Do we just do it? Okay. Let's do this. How close can we get that to the intersection? We can get it right there. So let's do that. Let's do one right across from the park. Now, if you drag up or down, it depends which way it will face the road entrance. So do keep that in mind. I put this one actually away from this intersection so that hopefully people, are coming around that side. It won't force us to reduplicate traffic. Can we come down all the way down here? We could. But let's just do that for now. Those might be a little close together, but that's all right. What is this here? This is some zoning I accidentally did. Or I guess it never moved out after I cleared the zoning, apparently. And then do we do one way down in our industrial area? I mean, we could. This wasn't really going to be the... That's too close. It also has a road built in. I feel like that's too close to the other one. We'll do another one as we come out this way, as we expand industry out a bit. But we're also done expanding this industry for a little while. Transport, monorail lines. We'll just bring one up and down for now. See if we can get some people moving up and down the strip without using their cars. It's not super efficient. Get kind of a look at what this does, though. It is... I think it's going to be effective once we have more stops, once we put zoning restrictions on, preventing people from traveling with their cars through areas. It definitely should see a decent amount of people once we give them more of a reason to take it. So, okay, anyways, back to what we were really working on today, which is this downtown area. And there's a couple things that I want to do, but it all hinges off of starting over here. Now, one thing that I would recommend is, I think for what we're going to do, we're going to have, sorry for zooming in and out, highway's going to cut through the mountain. It's going to come out down here, and we're going to have, you know, a highway that kind of feeds this way to the main downtown area on the left, and then, you know, like a 2-lane national highway that kind of follows all the way out here. This is going to be the less inhabited side of the island, less density by far over on this side. So we're going to want to think about that. We're probably going to want to have a roundabout here. So in that case, if you're on console, then grab your road of choice, preferably a one-way, either a 2-lane one-way, or if you've unlocked highway at this point, you have the 2-lane highway with mass transit. You have the 3-lane highway with the base game. And what you can do is just grab the curve tool and make a nice even circle, right? So come out, whatever, 8, 10, and be consistent. So snap to that point, you know, come out here, do the same thing, come all the way around. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to break the lighthouse, but you probably know how to do that, right? So that's straightforward enough. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use Control O, and just build a roundabout here. So this does a couple things. It flattens the ground for us, which it didn't need much help, but it works. And it can work with predefined roads. So I've set it up to use the 2-lane roads. You can do highways. You can do whatever you want for the roads. Doesn't matter. You can preset that. But that gives us a way to kind of cycle some traffic in and out of this area. That's definitely going to be hit pretty hard later on. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But let's get in here now that we've kind of set this up. So 1, 2, 3. Let's come in 4 nodes. No, let's go 3 nodes for a street. So right here, I'm going to come out 12, and that leaves us just enough space for a... That's pretty good. Okay, just enough space for a footpath through there if we want. Let's come down 3, let's come down 4 before we come back to the main street. And let's see where we can get... before we hit that bend. So can I get right to that? I can. And then we'll come out on that angle. Now, one thing I'm going to do over here is, before we really do too much, there's a little bit of a slope there. I'm going to flatten out a bunch of terrain. So we'll have to see how we kind of slope this up. But let's take a look. I'm just gonna bring this road down. I should have done this before. In fact, this might just be easier to do it this way. So let's just redo that. Landscaping. Right, level all that, and then this is obviously going to be a problem. We'll come fix that in a minute. We'll probably have to come fix our beach again. But a big downtown area like that would be flat. So 1, 2, 3. Let's come in here. Cannot build on water. I'm not trying to build on water. So 1, 2, 3. Can we build roads yet? So we're going to come out 12 so we can do that. That pedestrian path. 3, 4 is where we were at, right? Or were we at 5 to come down to the bend? We'll come down here so that we get a little bit of an angle. And now that we've flattened up here, I want to kind of follow this zoning relatively parallel. So that's certainly enough for us for what I'm thinking of doing here. And I want to do one more block with, let's say, an 11 spacing again, so that we can... Cannot build on water. Come on. You can see it draining down the hill. We're almost at the point where we can build. So I can build that way. Come on, drain. Okay, let's go this way first. Let's carry that out so that the lines stay nice and parallel. It's very grid-based, but it's also got a little bit of a funky angle here or there. So work with the terrain that you've got. And, okay, we're not going to do a road up here, actually. Not yet. So what I want to do is come up one more on this side. That works. And then we're not going to connect this yet. Because what we're going to do is... That's the wrong button. Under landscaping and water structures, I'm going to do the standard shallow canal. And I want to get this kind of snapped in as best centered as I can. I feel like it's just a little bit off. It can work, though. Do we... It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go over to our freeform. And I want to kind of come out to the middle of this strip here. Right, and now I did anarchy that, so you're going to have to come raise a slight bridge over this, and there's a spot right there. There's a rock just floating there. Another rock that's floating. I'm going to come in here and delete all rocks on the map. Where is this? Like, see, like... It's somewhere over here. I'm sure there's a spot that I could highlight it. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So what I am going to do is connect this back up. We're using the standard 4-lane road with trees here, which is actually just going to disappear. You can't be a bridge and have trees, so you'll want to just raise this middle up just a little bit, right? Like that. Does that work? I think that works. You could even want to give it a little bit of a nudge on either side. But I think that's okay. Now this is filling the canal a little bit, right? 3 times speed. I don't think it's going to get all the way down there. If it does, I mean, that's perfect. I did lower it quite a bit. So maybe it will fill up. How are we doing coast-wise? Do we need to clean this up a bit? I think we do. So let's just run a smoothing over it once. Good enough. Don't want to over-manage it. I do want to move this thing, though. Sorry, PC players, or sorry, console players. I think we'll have it, you know, kind of over here at the edge of the beach area. Can I get a smaller brush and smooth around that? I guess that's good enough. Right? We'll do some footpaths. Have some people congregating over there. So, complaining about the water floods, that's not good. I guess I lowered this too much, huh? In comparison to the land that was around it. So, I did a little practice build on this one. And I hadn't lowered the terrain this much. And as a result, I didn't cause the water to overflow here. What if we go with a deeper canal? Does that give us more room for water storage? I would think so, right? Can't upgrade to that one because it's already upgraded. Okay, let's see what the deep does. The medium didn't seem to be fixing it all. Maybe I have to raise the terrain up a bit to prevent this mess from happening. I feel like it's settling down further down the trench. Come on. Let's try and start building. In worst case, we can troubleshoot this after. So, what are we going to do down here? Well, first thing we want to do is a district. Certainly on everything that's inside of this. Inside of the... inside of this little canal that we built here. We're not going to be building on the beach side. Beach is prime real estate for tourists. So what we're going to do is in the districts, let's do another tourism specialization. This is going to get more hotels and things like that. And we may as well do the high density variety, even though I don't think it matters. So that whole strip will be... commercial. Let's see if we can make this work. So on a free form, what if we do this? Let's try curve. That was curved. Okay. So what if we connect something like that? A little funky. That's okay. What's our water problem? Did I not run water down here? I did. We're already down on availability? Is that not... Is that not getting water because of where it's at on the slope? So that might have just been a temporary pop. We'll move those into the water eventually so that we won't have that problem of the coast drying up temporarily. So we've got a really big beach, and that's very central to what I want to do here. Still clean this up a little bit, and we will decorate it a ton. But where's our demand right now? Well, our demand is for residential. That's what we really need to get going. So I want to start moving in people over to this side. But I want to do a little bit of landscaping over here actually before I do that. So back over here, I'm going to grab the slope tool, and I'm going to grab a much bigger brush. Not that big. That's pretty good. So I just want to grab this every once in a while and kind of slope up to it, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, and we're going to smooth it out after anyways, so we'll do that. We'll slope up to this, and then let's also slope up where we see those jagged edges. Right up there, come on. So we'll do that, and then we'll grab our smoothing brush and round all that out a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. So it's a little crazy, but it's also absolutely covered in trees, so you can't see a whole lot of it. As we need more commercial, industrial, we'll start filling that in here. But I think it's time to do a couple neighborhoods, a couple blocks, right, of some residential space. I want to bring this down here. Why is it doing that? Can we force it to the ground? That works. I meant to bulldoze that rock. That doesn't exist? That could be half my problem. Man. There's going to be a rock cleanup episode somewhere. Oh my goodness, is this still going, or did this went again, didn't it? This isn't even finished growing back. And there's another fire happening over here. All right, whatever. I'm not even gonna entertain it. You don't. No one gets to see the fire. Maybe the fires will stop if I stop showing them. Probably not. It's back there. Okay. You'll know that it's still going when these trees catch up. They'll probably ignite into flames very shortly. So we need, right, a ton of residential. That's really what our demand is right now. So let's fill all that in. Heck, let's fill all this in too. And, you know, do we maybe even cram them in right back here behind this side? You would think this would also be commercial. I would think. I don't know. Prime real estate there. And then maybe we tuck in a couple offices over here. We don't need them yet. But when we do, that will meet our industrial demand. We need some ways through here, though. Now, this one, I'm totally going to cheat to make it a lot easier, but you might need some more room on either side to do this kind of stuff. No, I don't want to follow the ground. I don't want that cheat on now. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this up just a touch. Is there a middle note on this? They're not? Okay. Well, we're going to raise either side then. I think in the middle we could do a pedestrian path that cuts through. That would be okay. In fact, why don't we do that? Over here. Paths. Kind of right smack in the middle. Good enough. We'll do that. Okay. And then another little mod that I have installed is when you go into roads, you can do pedestrian crossings wherever you want. So we're going to set one up right there, kind of right through the middle of the strip. Let's see what that looks like. That's okay. That can work. Now, if you want to try and achieve that on console, there is a way you can do it. Changing road types. So if I have a different type of road somewhere in the middle, like that, and something that changes the lane configuration. So grass line and tree line streets don't have a parking lane, so it changes the lane configuration and it makes the game think there's a different road there. So this was just upgrading an entire segment. If I pause it, like I can get that much closer together. So like I can do that, and then just do the different segment of road right there smack in the middle and create a little crosswalk area. But in this case, so that I don't mess up my nodes and my zoning, which I already did, I'm just going to slap all that back together. Oh, did I break this crosswalk in the process? I think I did. That's interesting. I bulldoze that rock. Okay, back in here, pedestrian path, like that. Okay, over here now, we're creating some new problems because we're moving a bunch of people in over here. We don't have any service coverage, and this is going to absolutely destroy our budget. So where are we at schooling-wise? We need an elementary here. Since we're going to move a bunch of people in, I'm going to use this one, which is basically 3 times the cost for 3 times the students. It's just a way we can waste a little bit less space. Let's connect this road first. So right there, and then let's do the central elementary down here on the end. Can we get it at an odd angle there? I'm okay with that. I mean, it's a little weird. Then again, so are these magic rocks that disappear and reappear at different zooms. Like, where is that? Where is that rock? Okay. Whatever game. Whatever. So this is one of those ways that we're going to kind of fold in. Fold into other areas. So here where we've got another intersection, I'm going to control. Oh, I'm going to roundabout build on that one too. Like flatten this segment right here. Funny bit of mounding that's happening there. One thing that I do want to do, I'm thinking of eventually reconfiguring, is a roundabout here in this kind of central intersection that has all the traffic right now, and then a diagonal road through the park, and then have kind of a split triangle on either side park. So we might go that route. I want to do a couple more things over here before we wrap up for today, and that is service coverage. So I started in on the standard schooling. Do we have other high schools? I think that we do, right? We had this one. This is the elementary. I have a high school kind of with that does that fit that way? That's weird. That's weird to me. That's definitely out in the road. Move that off a bit. Can we? Let's do that. So it's got a similar kind of color palette to the elementary school. It's not as crazy, but I think it's good. Does this feel like more of the back side of the school? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. I'm good on it for now. Let's get a couple more blocks in here, right? So we're starting to see a little bit of office demand, which is good. Can we come right through here? That would be nice. Let's do that. And this could be, I think, office as well. Down here on this strip. Let's play it at 3 times speed. Because money's a thing that we have to start worrying about. Everything that we're doing from here on out gets super expensive. So we may not want this many intersections with that road. In fact, let me delete that. Those two are okay, but we want to at least skip a street in between intersections to reduce what kind of traffic we've got coming out there. That last segment is definitely a bit of a mess. You can smooth the slope out. I'm just going to use a quick cheat to get the road up there. And let's smooth around what we've done so far, and then we'll do a little bit of zoning. We'll double check our service coverage over here, because we definitely want fire and water and things like that. Fire and police, fire and water. Let's connect these through. Get kind of a wedge neighborhood over here. And zoning. No, I didn't want office. I did not want office. Get out of here, office. You were supposed to be residential. Okay. That should be all right. We could even carry... Are we out of power already? We probably are. I hadn't addressed that yet. So electricity wise, yeah, we're in the yellow. You know, I think we've unlocked that we haven't dropped in yet. One of my favorite stepping stones. Not because of its appearance, but just because of its power to dollar ratio. Let's be safe and let's delete these. We'll check our zoning. Okay. So that gives us power for days. We've got, I think, a pretty decent start to our area going over here. I'd like to see it fill out a little bit more before I grab a final cinematic. So I'll probably let it run for a bit One, to get us some more money so that we can afford things like no way it'll fit on the side, right? So close. Let's tuck a hospital in right there, I guess. And if we can do it, can we do like, I guess, do we want it closer to the intersections? We're not really using this service block, so let's, I say this service block. I'm calling it a service block because we're using it as a service block now. So there's police and fire. We've got healthcare. We've got education relatively covered here, right? Plenty of capacity for everybody. It's just whether or not they're making the trip there. Why are we complaining about water? Are we into a zone that we're not watering? It looks like we are. So there's still so much to do because we're going to hook at least another kind of large downtown area over to here where the beach stops. And then we're going to have kind of coastal road that comes through here, connects back up, have some neighborhoods all smashed together, but we're going to keep the high density stuff really close to the coastline and packed in pretty tight around this canal. We'll do a little bit more of that over here, but it's going to taper off a lot faster into the low density stuff. But we'll keep plugging away. There we go. Big city. What do we unlock at Big City? Another area. Liberal arts. Water treatment. Floating garbage collector. Nice. Oh, I don't have a cemetery over here. I might want to think about that. Let's look real quick at cemetery coverage. What are we doing here? So, can we get this? Get this right on there too? That's okay. We've got a bunch of European buildings that are cropping in, it looks like. Part of some of the default packs. So we're definitely going to come in and modernize this more. You could do that with content creator packs on consoles or PC. But obviously on PC we also have mods, so we can download tons of different custom objects and kind of build however we want. Let me run this on 3x speed. I want to at least get this block filled in so we can do a nice cinematic for the end of the episode. Make sure it's zoned out correctly. It is. It's a lot of commercial. We may as well do one more block of high density residential back in here. And then let's cram some more office space along the road itself for now. The main drag here. We go all the way up. I mean, this will meet our industrial demand for a while. So there, we're good. Normally I would do commercial there. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Don't do what you... We can mix and match it. So we've got office moving in there. We'll have another strip of commercial come down all here until we get more office. Because ideally you want commercial on the noisy strips anyways, where all the traffic is coming through. It's going to bother them the most. Then again, what am I doing? I want the commercial to fill in down. Okay, don't listen to what I do. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't sometimes. It amazes me that people watch this. Okay, well, that is kind of building up and gathering more people and businesses over in that area. Let me say thanks so much for tuning in today. New episodes, Wednesdays, Saturdays. Been trying to keep up with that schedule, and so far, so good. There's a lot of stuff that we still have to do for our city, like tuning and tweaking and building out that monorail network. Maybe we mix and match and put some metro on the island too, but I really like the idea of monorail because you can see the transport working, and it's a very cool concept. What else? So we're going to be looking at ferries, industry, fishing. All those things are coming to Honu, but I think we're going to continue to work on our downtown and high density areas in the next episode. Maybe we'll round it out. Maybe there'll be a third episode of it. I don't know just yet. It's tough to say, but it's not the biggest. If we're using Honolulu as a model, it's not the biggest downtown area, and it does drop off immediately into smaller, low density housing. So probably what makes sense to start the next episode is to work on a highway project. It's also going to be a tunnel So that's going to be super expensive. So, because I think that's going to be really key to tying the downtown area together. There's a lot of people over there. They're all coming through our one highway exit that we have right now. So we need a way to disperse that and break that up so everybody's not pouring off the highway at the exact same spot. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot, and they are all so greatly appreciated. There's that traffic problem that we need to fix, and stay tuned. We'll again, highway next episode, I think we'll resolve a lot of what you're seeing there at that particular intersection. I like the way it's coming together so far. If you like this and want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. If you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots of other things in the description down below. But until the next one, Downtown Part 2, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.